Yo, this is your motherfucking Uncle Ruthless Rob, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with Skippy Ipcom, bitch. Brought to you by Spreaker Podcast Radio, bringing you nothing but that underground shit, motherfucker.
You're a dead man, yeah, I'm coming running, a machete in my left hand. Lights green, no bitch, lights bland, that will chop you up and put your head up on the nightstand. Criminal mind state, acting like a primate, cutting motherfuckers and I'm increasing the crime rate. My blind dates getting raped and duct tape, sedated a drink, and now you know I gotta migrate. Love gags, I love chains and love whips, love ass, I love cunt and love tits, love knives, I love guns and love clips, but I hate fags and all of your homo bullshit. I can see a crime, bitch, that's too bad, yeah, so sad, getting pissed, now I'm seeing red. That's how you wind up there, is a cold slab dead in the corner of the room, black body bag. I'm the epitome, validity, I'm on stress, I'm striking without warning, I'm leaving victims unconscious. I never show remorse, no mercy and no conscience. And what comes next will have you bitches so nauseous. I'ma grab him, tie him, beat him, leave him lying there as he crying, screaming. Then I'm gonna burn him, bite him, bleed him. Then I'm gonna cook him, fry him, eat him. I am the demon in the darkness. Over your life, see there's no way out. Fall asleep, you can't sleep. Emotions that turn you upside down. I am the demon in the darkness. Over your life, you see there's no way out. Fall asleep, you can't sleep. Emotions, they try and change you. I'm a killer on contact, yeah, bomb rap, spit it tight so you know I got a contract. You ain't tough, motherfucker, you a cunt sack. I will leave you bitch slap, tongue tied and kidnap. Your baby girl looking at me got a bomb ass. I'ma get up on that and play it like a tomcat. Flying up pussy like a wombat. I'm going in and out, busting in the mouth and all that. Then I thought to myself, well, what if I happen to choke ya? Put my belt around your throat tightly, squeezing firm until I have broke ya. Thrusting over, then again over, my hands be tightly gripping your shoulders. I leave you lying there dead with two in the head slumped over the sofa, psycho. I'm a killer in a silo, smoking hydro when my bros getting stoned, about to lose control. I got a military rifle, I'm picking out these eyeballs from skulls whenever things are dark and dull. I'm a sick, twisted maniac, click clack, the gag goes black whenever motherfuckers talking smack. You just a no-name rapping little bastard, I'm a king of hardcore and I ain't ever gonna give it back. Wanna go against me, then step, I can guarantee you one thing, you're bound to get wrecked. So better yet, better save your breath before I send these hollow slugs point blank at your chest. You're trying to be a big dog like the rest, barking up a big game, boy, let me see you flex. Bitch, please better work on your sets, who's next? Brutal business, we the motherfucking best. I am the demon in the darkness. Over your life, see there's no way out. Fall asleep, you can't sleep. Emotions that turn you upside down. I am the demon in the darkness. Over your life, you see there's no way out. Fall asleep, you can't sleep. Emotions, they try and change you.
I'm a demon in the darkness, next to a carcass, feeling kinda heartless, pinpoint sharpness, pit bull with a sick flow, no harness. Bitch, you ain't hard, homeboy, you're harmless. Regardless, I am an artist, I paint a perfect picture with your blood, then spark this big fat butt that I got from the harvest. I'm just being honest, bitch, you're garbage. Demon in the skies, you can see it in my eyes, and I pride myself in pain. Hell in a cell block, stop sign, mailbox, make the hood drip blood rain. Make your weak heart stop, street smart, hot spot, bitch, don't say my name. I dropped out of school cause I didn't like recess, I do not play games. It's a damn shame, a bunch of damn lames, second day the wickedest. Don't know a damn thing about Ruthless Rob or the brutal business, bitch. Wickedness, infamous, slip, wrist, sick shit, backflip off a high rise with the quickness. Kick this shit like a donkey, homicide a honky, raunchy, never leave a witness. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, fuck what you heard, this shit's truly amazing. We blazing, hell raising like a football game with the Steelers and the Ravens. Crazy demons on my back and I'm about to snap and backstab me a rapper. If he's whacking backtrack when I flash back attack and wax, that's when I smack this brick. Up against your snapback.
Me strength, family, pray for me, bet they will. Wanna kill the demons, but they bless my skill. I don't really know what to say next. Friends think I'm chasing down a paycheck. Fuck you think I plan to leave them like Columbine. Think that's it, cause I'm leaving them all to die. Was it murder or was it a suicide? I'm not sure, cause it's people all in my mind. I've been on a mission, putting blood on the walls, yeah. Brain going crazy, I don't get no sleep. I don't really count no sheep, but when I dream, I'm spilling all this blood on the sheets. So when I wake up, I gotta tame that beast. This is why I done made it, in fact you gotta tame the demons and pay my dues. Listen, it's not for the faint of heart. I painted a picture of fantasy with all the blood on the walls. You don't know what this cost me. For my dream I'd give it all. If help is the thing I won't get, then best believe I'm pushing on. If I had to say one thing, it's you don't want this vendetta. No holding back, I'm leaving them in bloody bandages. Assassinate the game like I'm trapped inside the animus. So many threats, but yet none to run into. I'm on another level, I know I'm untouchable. Don't start shit unless you want torn to bits. Movies about my legends, tell them about the exorcist. Kick in the door and burn your goddamn crib. Pick up the fucking metal, it's heavy, and wreck your bitch. What? I've been on a mission, putting blood on the walls, yeah. Devil on my hand to you, it don't mean shit. But what I spit is going harder than I ever been. Why you try to paint your eyes? I'm all black in the back and I'm ready to strike. Brutal business, we steady on a mission. While you falling off, we got a lock on the shit, kid. Listen, it's not for the faint of heart. I painted a picture of fantasy with all the blood on the walls. You don't know what this cost me. For my dream, I'd give it all. If help is the thing I won't get, then best believe I'm pushing on. If I had to say one thing, it's you don't want this vendetta.
King Leon spoke with the angels. They are the voices of the order, the beings who made the collapsing. The angels told him the end was coming soon for his kingdom. War would bring the start of the end. The king was ready to stop Underdark by any means. The king gathered his army and took to the streets calling out a city. The angel's words were twisted in nature. He would find this out soon enough.
Laying on my bed, looking at the sky, contemplating why I'm feeling like I'd rather die. If there's any reason that I found to stay within this life, it's gotta be my daughter, gotta never leave a fucking side. Word is born, I go to war for her and all that. This is real, this is nothing that you all rap. If you touch it, then I guarantee it's all bad, cause I snap back, so I ain't talking about a ball cap. Fucker, y'all just suckers and I'm harboring souls. My approach is the same as Dr. Marvin Monroe. Sharp therapy and swearing we are not even close. David Carradine couldn't hang if I showed in the pros. Got a bitch that's insane, so she got my vote. Similar to these, that's the way she got on the pole. Drinking liquor like it's water and I'm out of control. The Mona Lisa wouldn't smile if she looked at my soul.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
but I'm feeling like I'm guilty. No rest is the best that I will be. I got demons that progress while I'm wilting. So my death will invest in it well-being. No stress, I'll impress if it kills me. Chop the screw, that's the style that I will bring. Homicidal necrophilia, so feel me, bitch. Cause I'm fucking killing the way you ever rebuild. And after going against me, no defense, and you can see what's still it. And you know it can't be understand that you perceive the jealous, but you won't offend me. No, not any rapper has a skill it takes. So they break fast like cheating during Ramadan. When I perform my book, magic like the Necronomicon. Ripping up the flows, yes, you know that it goes on and on. Kevin Gates on stage, I kick it for the audio.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed.
But I'm feeling like I'm at the point. I'll either snap, go crazy, or mass destroy. This ain't a sham, so don't blame if I act annoyed. If you question what I rap and try to match the source, trying to get spins like breakers on harbor floors. It's hard when you couldn't ride a check for sliding doors. You can see I get spins like a laundromat. I believe I'm sicker than a hypochondriac. Yeah, your bitch clean and I'm calling it good. Pots all on my balls cause she polished the wood. Think I could if I want, but it's misunderstood. Leave blood on the walls like recording with shook. I'm depressed to the point that I can't just chill or relax, but goddamn it, I need beef in my life cause I'm famished. Plus I came to purge like bulimous at the smash in on a full stomach. But I swear the answer is I'm a bad egg like ovarian cancer. Frankenstein on a beat race creating a master. Remix beautiful people like Marilyn Manson. It's alive when I'm screaming while I'm tearing up these raps. And I'm flashing bitches like Barry Allen in the sack. And I got your bitch nude, hippie hugging my tree trunk. For you should be a little like a fucking Ewok.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
For the greatest, I wanna be Nas and AZ, they was major. This is classic, I ain't think about the paper. Too much money in the majors, I'm too humble. I just wanna make classics, have a cold following that rivals all the masses. I don't wanna be Ye, he lost himself, sold his soul, fuck the wealth. Chicago needed him, shy kids believed in him. What he do, he out there deceiving them. That nigga's a snake, a black man reppin' self-hate. Try to make America great. A house nigga is a house nigga. Guess that's what he about, nigga. If that's fame, I don't really need it. The industry got me heated. He wasn't great, I can't believe it.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status. I gotta do the day the time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it. You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
Yeah.
Don't be mad.
Rock Cam, Daddy Kane, LL, rock bells, memorized verses early on, the shit was worth it. Studied Wu-Tang, Raekwon's flow was perfect, but Ghost was a favorite. You can hear it in my voice, love Mob Deep, fan of the Beastie Boys. Those cats was mad wow, to live Kweli, most deaf rocking crowds, dreaming of that dream life, that's why he made the beat. Yo, it seems right, this lifestyle seemed perfect, so I got to working, pen and a pad, flip my style, write a verse a while, classy flow, I write my shit down in cursive now, try to take the curses out, but that ain't working out, promote the track so they can shoot it down, figure what I'm doing now, I guess I'm too thought-provoking, got me chilling on the beat, catching hooks, steady coasting.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status. I gotta do the day the time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it. You gon' be mad at me when I get it.
he could've made it. Couldn't survive being famous, or was his legacy lifestyle or the rich and dangerous? We'll never know. Digging in the crates, Fat Joe had a raw flow. Now he wanna make hits. I miss Flo Joe. I hate he on that callous shit. What happened, Cartagena? This a fan, not a diss. And this fan breed this shit. Deep cover on that punch shit. Fuck the sales. To me, Terror Squad run shit. Now it's time for me to make it. But the game ain't on the same shit. Now they rockin' purses and some makeup. Bars don't mean a thing. Half these cats will get ate up. So instead of rocking mics, I'm chillin' at a job just waiting on a pay stub.
Yo, it's your boy Jester the Undead.
And Sam Grimm.
And together we are Sick Fist. And right now, you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your boy Skippy Ickham.
If I walked away from everything that's killing me, I wouldn't know which way to go. Whoa. And if I said goodbye to all these things that's killing me, well, I'd feel so alone. Yeah, I'm dying for company.
I'm dying from all of the things that I love. What comes to mind? The liquor and drugs, the feeling I get when I'm getting a buzz. The lie I keep telling myself when I run. I'm telling you now from my heart and my lungs. I'm past the point of giving a fuck. And those that know me, they know that I'm stuck. Even though I be roaming and running amok, I've been ready to die. And that ain't a lyric, them demons been siphoning all of my spirit. Demeanor ain't well, I'm barely coherent. I'm under a spell of fearless appearance, but no one can hear it. I'm screaming in vain. I reach for the sun, can't see through the rain. Don't know where to run, I just sit here in place and pretend for a second I'm winning the race. Cause
if I walked away from everything that's killing me, I wouldn't know which way to go. Whoa. And if I said goodbye to all these things that's killing me, well, I'd feel so alone. Yeah, I'm dying for company.
Lay it all out, I'm just biding my time. I wish I was dead, but I'm dying for life. Addicted to things that kill me inside. I'm looking for peace, but I'm stuck in a lie. I fight for what's right, but it's killing my ties. Stuck between people who help me to rise, and no matter the things I try to imply, I always end up in the middle of fights. It ain't easy to choose to go left or go right, so I do what I have to bring things to light. And I hope for the best, but I'm losing the fight. It's stressing me out, and I'm killing my time and killing my stress with the bottle and line. Just let me get loose and I'll make it alright. But in the AM, I'm back in the Y. I'm stuck in a vortex consisting of lies, and yeah.
If I walked away from everything that's killing me, I wouldn't know which way to go. Whoa. And if I said goodbye to all these things that's killing me, well, I'd feel so alone. Yeah, I'm dying for company.
I'm running this way for the sake of my soul. Been gun in my brain to give me a hold. I'm feeling my pain, the curtain is closed. I need a change for this burdens to go. Like a train on the way with a bag attached. Old school with a smoke over your head. I need some company when I stop at a weighted track. We're going back to the basics, man. Better be cutting it later than ever. I'm fading away to the home of the devil. Getting ready to run for the matter. The problem was happening. Someone to talk to while I'm drinking and rapping. Stand it against the rain that is so packed in. But the presets in, I reach for the stars. So the next thing is,
if I walked away from everything that's killing
hard. I fit it with a razor that be sharper than a molar from the mouth of alligators when the heart gets hard. Bored up in the brain, jumping everybody's lane, trying to add a little purpose to the mundane card. But for some strange reason, there's a record I'm repeating inside my head to the bark of a Saint Bernard. With the doc, give me a surcharge for the visit of a hill, never mind, I'm beyond that. And the one to do, I still got things in the head. As a kid, when I grew up, and beyond that. I was a real life patient, doing backflips in the west of my own imagination. Diagnosed with a criminal mentality, marking a casualty without a lick of hesitation. Charged with attempt to commit the murder at 12. I was looking at 5 to 10 years in the basic. Had a counselor that told me take every single one of your crazy fucking thoughts and let it bounce off. Had me tapping with the finger in the vision, but I think when I'm in a happy place, I will count to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was arriving in heaven with an ounce of the Prozac in my body to amount for the chemical imbalance in my brain, tricking out for the team of the brain dead. Scream when the pain led the scenes of my body being eaten by the undead. Watch your faces of death and I'm counting my breath. I'm maneuver, I'm seeing the centaur as I sit in my room while I'm clutching my doom, going over these insane memoirs.
Memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from out the ward without a warning on case. Memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from out the ward without a warning on case.
Lights blink in my brain, doc told me what it was, but I can never remember that name. Layman's terms of the fact that it occurs, but the words that he spurred got me caught up in the game. Dreams of me shut up in the rain with the 40 in my lap and the baggie of the pure cocaine. Had me rapping with the passion that nobody could contain while I'm smashing through the puddles of a back road lane. Talking to my God while I'm beating back the devil, put the foot into the pedal. Am I that insane? I was all by myself on the I-9, aka Dead Body Highway. Yep, in my mind, slowed down to 5 cause I thought I saw a light at the corner of my eye. In the middle of the night was an angel disguised as a kid in my sight. They gave me one look and I was feeling alright. No more devil in my ear, disappeared to the fact that I was risen to a brand new height. Devil damn, got a vision of me stepping on his windpipe, crackle in the back of his Adam's apple when I'm about to grapple on the noose that I'm choosing to lynch tide. I will never be afraid of a shake, cause I grew up with him every single night around midnight. In the house I was raised, so follow me to the inside.
Memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from out the ward without a warning on case. Memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from out the ward without a warning on case.
So it all led up to the place that they called then Wacom Psychiatric. The psychiatrist I met with on a weekly was a priest, man of the claw straight Catholic. All the stories that I told him had him tripping, completely flipping up in the room, doing backflips. And he told me I was written with a couple of demons up into my cerebellum. Up and the fact is, you need a little something different than psychiatry, so I'm referring to another type of practice. So I took his word for it with a little Prozac. Went home and put my head back on the mattress. Rained and murder and suicide all night, and I'm waking at 3 in the morning with a fresh bite. When I started thinking the God of the universe, the devil's in the planet, put up one hell of a cold ass fight.
On my own insane memoir, I'm trapped inside these memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from idle drama that I'm flying these case. Memoirs in my brain has got me knowing that I'm fucking insane. Memoirs I replay from idle drama that I'm flying these case. Memoirs in my brain.
Crazy doctor, tell me I'm insane.
It's like they never saw me coming. No, I was right here. They ain't looking for nothing. They find the nightmare. When the sunlight dims and the dark shows through, and the shadows start dancing around the room. Too late. We hope that you enjoy your stay.
All of a sudden, now the motherfuckers screaming, we were boys me, I've been bumping low-key since back in 2003. But I recall back then, it was pretty much me and like 10 fans didn't even have a CD. Yet these cats wanna claim shit, saying we the same clique, saying that they knew low-key before the fame hit. Call me a superstar, bitch breaking fucking arms, bash you in the fucking mouth. Man, what the fuck you talking about? Claiming that you fuck with me, but not with the music, as if I'd even be human if you try to remove it, cause every day I wake up into this. Fuck yeah, I'm living it, breathing the fire, spit it on my fingertips. And I'm joined by the night, call a battle clan. Now I'm here to tell you all, welcome to Shadowland.
Down in the darkness, I stayed for decades. Now these motherfuckers ride the wave like jet skis. They get a big head and feel great with 10 plays on their SoundCloud page and think they the next craze. It's funny how they clueless and they sounding like manure. I can see right through them, I'ma shut them down like they computer, cause it's music shit they flow through my medulla since age 5. I've been working all day and night and I can't lie. I'm seeing all these fish up in the sea and I'm a great way. And I can hear the chitter chatter babble through the grapevine. I was ripping shows up while you was having stage fright. And I can tell you sweet and salty kinda like a take 5. Lay down and get the fuck out the way. On the ground like a centipede I'm hunting. I keep crawling through the night until the end of my days. When I attack it's like
they never saw me coming. Though I was right here, they ain't looking for nothing. They find the nightmare. When the sunlight dims and the dark shows through, when the shadows start dancing around the room, it's too late. We hope that you enjoy your stay.
of the life and dim light. You say you stand around, but you cannot fight. Do not move, we're in tune, we're immersed by your doom. Yeah, it's going down. Here's for the wicked shit, but this is all we know. To make a heart sink down, far beyond the flow, with the ones that you keep close. Not they rely on the hopes and the banner, but praying the powers ascending to honor. But nothing cause bastards of the shadows to follow, but we are the ones that got you to knowledge. To be the bad guy you know you need. Follow us to a land time we thought you'd never see. Follow us upon every step we take. Your soul will resonate. We are legion and that one.
It's like they never saw me coming. Though I was right here, they ain't looking for nothing. They find the nightmare. When the sunlight dims and the dark shows through, when the shadows start dancing around the room, it's too late. We hope that you enjoy your stay. Welcome to Shadowland.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy the Rooster from 9 Stitch Method, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my dude Skippy Ickham on Speaker Podcast Radio, keeping it 100% underground.
Never
tight. I'm the boogeyman, come to life, a mask of bloody shape in the night. Place my hand on your mouth, the other strikes your face. I won't leave a mark, but you best believe my rage will leave a trace. Coming undone, your clothes are gone, what you gonna do now, I ask? Begging for help, your words are noise that lose their value fast. Better keep it down, I'm not the one, I don't give a fuck what your boyfriend has. Beg at my feet, you filthy bitch, and open up that ass. Rape you to treasure right at you. Leave you broken down like the feeble little insect that you are. Stop me, I make use of you. Just to taunt you now, I let you feel me violate you with these scars. Cry me a river and take it. Like a good girl, your compliance is a must to make it far. Stop me, defeat me, control me. What's the matter, doll? You didn't know that this moment was ours. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Just close those eyes and believe that you're safe, my dear. Trust in my words, but beware, I am the one you fear. This pain I bring shall release all the things you hide. Play my game and obey the way of the name or die. Locking all the doorways when you try to flee. Not a good idea, I'm death in the flesh and I feast on misery. Tie your hands to your legs and now you'll never leave. I'm loving the noise you make when you fight with me and struggle to breathe. Hit you again, the bruises rise, your beautiful skin is split. Fear in your eyes, I hold them open and fill them with my spit. Feel my breath on your neck as I force myself to beside your dried up slit. So crying for help won't save you now and only get you hit. Break you and make you berate. Smother out your hope and leave you empty and dying inside. No one is coming for you. Just to taunt you now, I let you loose and cut free all the ties that bind. Defiled and beaten today. Leave from trauma blessed upon your flesh until your mind is open wide. Follow the bag, the last thing that you hear before you meet the bag and get the number you're assigned. Just close those eyes and believe that you're safe, my dear. Trust in my words, but beware, I am the one you fear. This pain I bring shall release all the things you hide. Play my game and obey the way of the name or die.
struggle to find the truth. I found the meaning in my so-called life. Who is to blame without me?
It takes a special kind of man to look at this through the eyes of a lamb, to follow orders from the ones who shamed you. Yet I know I can. You lose control, you lose sight of the dam. There is no other way to describe this feeling.
demons, right? We all don't embrace them.
We all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey.
Dear Lord, it's been a while since I talked to you, and this a different type of hell you got me walking through. Last time it was my soul that I had offered you, but you ain't never answered all the prayers that I was talking through. I guess you figured I was strong enough to fight the fight. That's why you kept my name surrounded in all types of hype. Beefing with some rapper cats, drama, you could have it back. You unleashed the beast into an unfamiliar habitat. Yeah, and now I'm coming for the throne. If this a war against the stars, I'm coming for the clones, taking everything I own. You see, the booth is my home, and when I'm there, you'll never take me out my zone. I am fed up, and they know that I never let up. See, they could knock me down, but they know that I'll always get up. Like, ain't nobody dropping tracks like me, or making hits back to back to back to back like me, so fuck 'em. Takes for us to get lost, for us to find a way. I used to never speak, take my thoughts, keep them locked away. Couldn't pinpoint the problem, it was hard to say. All the shit I never entertained now bother Trey. Scumbag, loser, low life, and they resent me. But over time I saw the jealousy was envy. I realized that these people never left me, cause they were never there when my life was getting heavy. All them struggles and the hard times was hustling for our grind, and never stopped to think what I was fighting in this dark mind. I dealt with shit that most people couldn't handle, and when I spoke my mind, they say I'm flying off the handle. Deads rolling in their grave, urns flying off the mantle on some Sandman shit. Watch me reassemble, see my life ain't nothing special. It really ain't. Try dealing with the fact that everyone you love left you. We all got demons. How do you embrace yours?
We all got our demons, all got our demons. Mine are the meanest, mine are the meanest. Let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play.
Yeah, yo, dressed in all black in the dark, camouflaged by the night. All the lights in the house are off now, and I'm grabbing onto my knife. The back door is unlocked, my mask is on, I'm inside. My freezer needs to be stocked, I'm stabbing all who's inside. So I move in, scan all the rooms, she's all alone like I assume. She's dying soon, but not too quick, I'ma take my time, I'm in a violent mood. Raid the kitchen, fuck buying food, don't need the meat, she'll supply it soon. I'm on a diet and skinny bitches, I'm eating healthier, I'm trying to. She never stood a chance, she never stood up. After I severed vertebrae, brain was working, her death was certain. Obsessed with murdering every person, don't ever trust me, I bet I'm worse than the best emerging. Expert working in the field of bringing death to persons, but I'm murder.
Watch me put on a clinic, I did it for all who dig it. Nothing but raw, explicit, a visually scarring image. What makes you want to live in that body? You're non-existent. Let me put this knife in your skin and take you to a level we all will visit. Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know that this might be the end.
her at the back of the corridor, wishing she had some boarded doors. But of course, it was too late, and I already chose her fate. Closed that gate, seen that fear all up on her face, until her brain sprayed from a flawless blade. Sick-minded, demented, did I mention bipolar, prone to get vengeance? Feeling happy deep down when I hear the chainsaw start with a rev like brain. And I really wanna end it, but I've been caught up putting little kids in detention. It's so easy to me, like a sixth sense in the river, bodies get tossed like a pigskin. And she was deep asleep when I went into a room and got beneath the sheets. I just spooned her, I just laid next to her in the bed, shaking while I beat my meat. I'm just lonely, I just want somebody to hold me while I'm rubbing it and need to ski. It's okay, babe, I don't really wanna hurt you, I wanna coerce you to be with me. She wasn't into it, I guess, cause she tried to run up out of the room, but I'm quicker than a bitch. She got thrown back quick like a Michelin-esque, took the knife, then I stuck it to her chest. Didn't really wanna take it here, babe, but it seems like we can never make this right. So I thrust it in and it pulled it out, the blood sprayed while I drained her life. Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know that this might be the end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun, staring at the barrel of my gun.
As I kick and punch your doors down, I bet you wish that we calm down. 50 shades of pink with about a break, girl, you know you've been holding out.
Yo, maybe it's the blood that triggered in the face, but the fetish much better when I get a little taste. I peeled off in the raw in the off fashion. Never try screaming, that shit ain't lasting. Inside my brain is a slaughterhouse. You never even know till the organs out. As I fiddle with the liver, I'ma watch you shiver like my lips to the sight of you all strung out. Sick, okay, if I can take my thoughts from the pencil. Better keep it broad unlocked when I'm into it. Far from the mental. Never the guts to these high-strung sluts. Ain't no love of these hoes, so you know that's never the body up on an old school Kodak. Guess I get the highlight deep in this neck, but I'm not the side of their blood spill. Bet you wish you gave me that chance, but now I'm too hostile. Too far gone, bending your corpse to the spine goes a sign, yo. Swear I don't even know where my mind goes. When half the time, what is in my mind is best seen when your eyes close.
Some murder shit. Murder bitches get away with it. Leave a motherfucking bullet wounded, then I play with it, I'm spraying shit. Licking motherfuckers down, ho, and lick a motherfuckers blood up on the ground, bro. This be the sound, ho. I'm from the town, ho, Pittsburgh. Where all the bitches' bodies found, ho. They talk about my spree on TV. They told my mom they wanna see me. See these eyes realize the pain of life to strain. The lives and crimes we done, that's why I self-inflict with pain. That's why I fuck with Kane. I'm just like fucking man. I pull my motherfucking pistol out in public, man. It's just enough to change. I'm quick to bust my thing. I'm down to load a fucking slug and throw it in your brain. You can't imagine what I've been through. I'll drop the heat and grab my cancel.
When I first met Tommy, I was only 13, bouncing a dope-ass Super Ball up and down the street. Then there he was, outside the cemetery. The fog was rolling in, it was really kinda scary. His head was bleeding, said he fell off his bike. So we went back to my spot, I got him some ice. I introduced him to my mom, she didn't pay him no mind. We kicked it all day, Tommy even spent the night. In the morning he was gone, completely out of sight. So I hit the streets to find my new homie with no luck. A couple hours later I was ready to give up, and then there he was in the very same spot. Again with his head bleeding, I'm thinking what the fuck. But then he said, hey, let's play a game, and handed me a rusty blade. Told me there's a guy that lives by himself just down the way, and all I had to do was cut his atoms out the sideways. His name was Tommy, my very best friend. We would play all day, the fun would never end. But Tommy had a secret nobody could see, nobody but me. He said we'd be friends till the end of eternity.
Tommy was dead. He was my best friend. He was my best friend. Tommy was my best friend. Tommy was dead. He was my best friend. He was my best friend. It was cold, I was walking home all alone. Into the woods when I stumbled on a gravestone. Candle wax, so I couldn't quite make out the name. But his name was Tommy, and he died a year ago today. I remember when the kids are flicking boogers at him, tied him to a tree. Nobody ever bothered to help him. I was there when they locked him in a dog cage, threw him off an overpass and left him by the highway. Mean kids, why would they do this? Play tricks, beat him up with rocks and sticks. Quick, take abuse so much he'd get sick. We were playing kickball and he was always last pick. No remorse from the kids on the playground. Always knocked him down to the dirt till he stayed down. He went home and he got his dad's butcher knife. He finally had enough, he chose to take his life.
I never understood why I always did his bidding, but fuck it, we were homies, that's the only reason needed. Many years later I noticed he hasn't aged. When I asked him about it, he just quickly looked away, spiraled into a rage, threw a table at my face, and vanished without a trace. It was a few days later he decided to explain. He'd been dead for years at the hands of some punks. They were nothing but some bitches, now they all grown up. So I'm creeping outside another house about to rip some guts. Nobody fucks with one of my homies, no matter how long ago it was. He's standing in the kitchen at the sink, washing dishes. I grab him by the head and drown him in the water he's sticking. Take his own knife, just start sticking vicious. Blood and water, his feet keep slipping until the thrash and splash and bubbles come to a stop. Fuck a piece of shit, bitch, boldly let his body rot. His name was Tommy, my very best friend. We would play all day, the fun would never end. But Tommy had a secret nobody could see, nobody but me. He said we'd be friends till the end of eternity.
Tommy was dead. He was my best friend. He was my best friend. Tommy was my best friend. Tommy was dead. He was my best friend. He was my best friend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. You are listening to us through Spreaker podcast radio systems. You can check us out on Spreaker's app on the app market or at www.spreaker.com. You can listen to our shows live and stream them after the fact or download them. If you are listening to it right now, whether live or after the fact, please hit the share button and share us around. The more that you share us around, the bigger and better things we're able to do. We do want to give a shout out very quickly to our sponsors for the evening. We have Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. Joe Ball is a local tattoo artist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Started a clothing line for tattooed freaks like me. And if you love tattoos like me and Ruthless Rob, who's on the show tonight, who's our special guest, then you'll love this apparel. It's Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. You can check that out at www.tattooedscumbag.com. Again, that's tattooedscumbag.com. Use promo code BBE10 for 10% off your order. Also would like to give a shout out to Brutal by Design, who makes gear called Brutal Face Apparel. And they make shirts and different clothing. And the name of their parent company is Brutal by Design, and they make the Brutal Face Apparel. So we want to give a shout out to both of them for being the sponsors of Brutal Business and myself. Want to go over a few different announcements that we have coming up, and then we're going to jump into the show tonight. We have a fun-filled evening with Ruthless Rob. We're going to get to talk to him, pick his brain a little bit. He is the winner of our Brutalize The Beat rap contest thrown by my company, Brutal Business Entertainment, and he's a great underground artist and also member of Isolated Beings, which if you are familiar with the underground, you're going to know that name. So stick around for a great show this evening. Before we jump into that, I did want to go over that we have some shows coming up June 23rd at the Royal Barbecue at Royal Place here in Pittsburgh. We got roughly probably 15 to 16 acts playing across metal, rock, punk, hip-hop, and rap. Art vendors, tattoo artists, there's all kinds of great things going on there. That's Sean Schemmel in partnership with Brutal Business Entertainment. Check that out, June 23rd. We have July... What day do we got on this one? We have July 27th in Elwood City for Creature Feature. That looks like it's going to be a good show. It's the first time out that way, so we look forward to playing that one. A bunch of Brutal Business artists are going to be there. It's being thrown by East Coast Crazies, who are artists of ours and homies of ours. And then we got Devil's Weekend in Coshcohon, Ohio, coming up in October. I'm going to be taking a few months off as my kid's going to be born next month. I will be still doing the radio show, but will not be doing shows for a couple months, and then I'll pick back up. We do have a wrestling event in Elmore, West Virginia at the Elmore Fire Department. No risk, no reward. Brutal Business Entertainment in partnership with Code Red Wrestling. Buy your tickets to that and go out and support that event. The host of the evening will be our DJ GWK, and it's a great time, great event. And if you support wrestling, you're a fan of wrestling, you should go out and give it a chance. So definitely check out those. And then last of the announcements are going to be our car shows in Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm mixing up my cities right now. We have June 16th, June 30th, and July 7th. That's at the Dunkin' Donuts on East El Core Road. If you have a show car, go there. They're taking donations to enter it into the car show. People come out and check out the cars. They listen to music from DJ GWK, and all the money goes to a spay clinic to help with animals. So if you're an animal supporter like I am, definitely check that out. Without further ado, we certainly do have a great show for you this evening, so we're going to go ahead and get jumping into that right now. We have a friend of mine and a great underground artist, Ruthless Rob, on the show tonight. We're going to give you a little bit of background behind him. He sent me over his bio that is not only him, but his group Isolated Beings, so I'm going to read it as is, but then we can jump a little bit more in depth on him personally. Isolated Beings are Ruthless Rob and Two-Face from Baltimore, Maryland, and have been making music collectively since late 2005. Known for their abrasive and vulgar hype performance, explosive choruses, and these guys know how to put on a show. Also known for having masked acrobats on stage with them and notorious horror movie character masks doing backflips and handstands. Referring to the crowd as zombies, the horrorcore Baltimore-based group is rapidly gaining attention throughout the East Coast and spreading fast like a virus. With opening numerous shows for such notorious acts and national acts as Insane Clown Posse, DJ Paul, P.O.D., Twisted, Blaze Ya Dead Homie, The Dirtball, Boondocks, DJ Clay Hobson and Swizz, Powerman 5000, Potluck, and so many more that we could name. They have performed on numerous infamous underground music festivals, such as the Gathering of the Juggalos, the 2016 and 17 Strictly for the Wicked, and most recently performing at the first annual Night of the Shrunken Heads in 2018, which was a great festival that we were a part of as well. They have also collaborated with such acts like Mad Child, Project Born, Little White, Jelly Roll, Grave, Grave Plot, Brother Lynch Hung, Mastermind, Scum, Insane Poetry, Dark Half, Axe Murder Boys, Satanic, Razakel, Mars, Bloodshot, and so many more. Playboy the Beast. There's so many on this list, it's hard to even name it. Diabolic the Monster. A lot of really great names. And we just want to go ahead and jump right into the segment that we have here tonight for you. We want to get to meet this man behind the scenes and find out a little bit more about who he is, what he's involved with. So without me talking much more, let's go ahead and kick into it. What's up, Ruthless Rob? How you doing tonight, homie?
Hey, what's up, Skippy? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm just relaxing. It's a Wednesday night, long day. Get to come home and relax and just kind of chill, talk with some good people such as yourself. So it's always a good time.
Right, true. Yeah, man, just chilling myself,
I feel you. Well, thank you for being on the show tonight. We were happy to have you on, not only as just a regular artist, but, you did win the first place position on the Brutalize The Beat rap contest, which was an awesome way to get you on the show as well. So one way or another, it was destined to happen, and we got you here. We're glad to have you here. We're going to jump a little bit into the things that make you tick as an artist and as a person, and I look forward to certainly, uncovering the underground with you. Without delaying, let's go ahead and jump into it. What would you describe to the fans out there listening who you are as an artist, and a little bit about you? Obviously we'll pick a little deeper, but just an overview right now. Tell the fans, who you are, what message you're bringing across, and what you're about.
Right. So, basically, I go by Ruthless Rob. I'm also in the group Isolated Beings as well. Pretty much throughout the whole Baltimore City area. My music is just a combination of just growing up in Baltimore City, mixing it with, horror culture, serial killer culture, and, just everything I see in the city, from gang violence to poverty to, drug deals and, all that good stuff that comes with Baltimore City, you know what I mean? Just shit like that. So I kind of put a grim reality on my music, you know what I mean? So.
No, completely understandable. You put in the music the things that you relate with and the things that you've seen. What was growing up in Baltimore like? I mean, obviously I know that's a pretty rough place right now, and I've been to Baltimore obviously, but never really lived there to see it behind the scenes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that growing up in Baltimore?
Well, yeah, I'm actually still in Baltimore. If you listen closely, you can fucking hear the ghetto birds in the sky. The helicopters are always out this bitch.
Okay.
Fucking yeah. I basically never left. I've always been in Baltimore, and I'm actually in the process of trying to get the fuck out of here. I'm actually trying to fucking buy my first home, not too far from Baltimore, because I got kids down here and shit. So, but to a nice little suburb, or even just some, something a little quieter, shit like that. But,
closer to everything you need, far enough away that you don't have to be in the center of it all, and that makes sense.
Yeah, enough of the bullshit. I'm fucking not really, it's not a good place to live, if you want to put it that way. It's like I said, I love Baltimore. It's my hometown, but at the same time, I can't fucking stand it. And I love Baltimore City to death, but god damn it, this fucking place needs to get its fucking act together, yo.
Now, how was the scene whenever you? So, well, I guess before we even jump into that question, we'll make that a two-parter. How long you been rapping for?
I started back in 2002, 2003. I was about 16 years old.
Okay.
I always been a solo artist, and I cut EPs and demos up until I met Two-Face of the Isolated Beings, and we got together in around 2005, 2006. We got together and got Isolated Beings rolling, and that's really when it's a lot easier when you're not solo. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody there to fall back on, somebody to keep you going, somebody to keep you motivated. You know what I mean? When you're solo, it's easy to lose interest. You know what I'm saying? But once you got somebody with you, you become a little bit more motivated, and you always got somebody to relate to. With this music stuff, it's just, what I mean? It's a lot easier, just like with bands and stuff like that. It's hard to keep together, but if everybody has the same passion, there's no telling what could happen. You know what I'm saying?
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, you have to have someone like that, or else it is a much tougher path. And that was actually kind of part of my next question I was going to ask: is how did the scene interpret you guys? How did the scene today? Were they accepting to you when you guys first came out, or when you first came out as a solo artist, or was it a struggle for getting them to really want to give you attention and pay attention to you? Because I know with certain artists it's a struggle. Some come right out and they have love right from day one. Other ones, are great artists, but they have to fight to really get past that first stage, and then when people start paying attention, it really gains traction. How was it for you guys starting out?
Right. Well, when I was solo, like I said, solo, it was strictly just me. So I really had to fucking, prove myself with fucking freestyle battling in the fucking hood, and having to prove myself and shit as an MC. That's back when a freestyle was like, oh, you're a rapper, and then you'd get called out on the spot, like, yeah, let me hear something. So I'd have to fucking freestyle, and fucking sometimes make an ass out of myself, and sometimes fucking kill it. You know what I mean? And so just had to fucking, just go with it.
You had to go with it. You had to make your mark, man. You had to earn your street credit. I mean, I get it, absolutely.
Right.
So, I mean, you've done a good bit of battling then?
Oh, yeah. I was real active in battling when I first started out. We used to go to this freestyle club, and I'd go down there and, just participate in battles and stuff like that. And, these real sketchy places. I'd be like the only white person in there, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Not saying nothing wrong with that, but it's just like I really had to prove myself. Baltimore's a rough area. You got to come out fucking swinging. You know what I mean?
You do, man. Anytime you're in battle rap, I mean, you're really going to come out, especially if you're a minority, and in that specific scene we are. And I did battle rapping myself, and I got to see some sketchy places and get to see clubs in areas where I was the only white one, or one of only a couple white ones in the entire room. The opposition was against me right off the bat. I was hated.
Right.
I didn't belong there. I shouldn't have been there. And then I wowed people, and other times I got shit thrown at me. I mean, it just depends on the mood of the crowd that night. And that's, I think, is something that's kind of lost in a lot of hip hop. Is I have respect for artists that battle or have battled, because it is a whole different type of hip hop. It's a whole different type of scene within the scene. So you think of your shows, you think of performing and rap fans, but within that circuit, there's obviously another circuit of battle rap fans and battle rap scene. It's kind of its own thing, and I respect anybody that can get up there on stage, look another man in the face, battle that man with a crowd watching, with people judging, maybe even cameras rolling, depending upon the battle. It's certainly a different type of rapper and MC.
Yeah, and not only that, but the whole battle scene has evolved since 10, 15 years ago. When back in the day, you used to have to stay on beat and shit. Like when you're battling these cats, like if you even went off beat, you pretty much get disqualified, or you get fucking booed off stage and shit like that. But now it's kind of like fucking slam poetry. I YouTube some of these battles, these recent ones, and they're just going back and forth with each other with no beat, and they're just pretty much just roasting each other without a beat. And I always thought that's weird, how it is nowadays. You know what I mean?
See, I was more involved with the newer edge side. So I mean, I watch battle rapping. I watched battle rapping forever. So I mean, I always loved different styles of battle rap. But yeah, the scene I was involved with in Pittsburgh didn't do the beat side, and it was just back and forth a cappella, which I do like in a different way, because it gives you free range to just really open up your mind. So both sides are good. When you battle to a beat, it's tougher, and it's something that you can only follow the path that beat gives you for the most part. Without the beat,
harder.
Yeah, exactly. Without the beat, it's hard in its own sense, because there are no restrictions. It's just open world. Where do I go? What pattern do I use? And it becomes, like you said, more of a free verse kind of style, and I always enjoyed that too, because it allowed me to kind of just let out on people. Like I would go deep into some crazy shit.
Yeah, I look at some of these videos, and some of these fucking guys are raw as shit. I'm like, damn, dude, if that was me, I'd probably punch that fucker in the mouth. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
That shit can get heated. I mean, that's for sure. I know that it got heated when I was battling, man. There was a lot of I didn't take it home with me, and that's the problem. Is a lot of people took it home with them.
Yeah, a lot of these guys got chips on their shoulders. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Exactly. You go out and you beat them in a battle, and then they're like, you go to shake their hand afterwards, and they're like, "Fuck you," and they take it personal, like they want to fight you. And I'm thinking, like, bro, it was a battle. Like we set this up to battle. It was just like putting on a performance to me. Like I'm performing in front of these people, but I'm performing in the art that we're supposed to roast each other. You know what I mean? It wasn't physical to me, like to be, bringing your boys outside and wanting to fight me after the show or something like that because of a battle. That's ridiculous. But That's why I got out of it, because the politics in it and just the aggression that was behind it. I'm in to make it good music, have a good time, and not be a part of the drama and the dumb shit. Just like you said, you're moving out of the city. It's kind of, that's the reason I moved out of battle rap, because I was like, you know what? I want to focus on making music, building an empire, not the hostility and the drama, because that doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, it makes perfectly fucking good sense.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us, about a couple of the past projects you put out recently, what might be coming up as far as future projects and things that we can be expecting for you musically?
Yeah, like I said, been doing this for quite a while. A lot of my old EPs, I kind of want to sweep them under the rug, because I don't feel like they're as good as they, as my new material is, but they're there. You know what I mean? If you go on like I don't know if you remember SoundClick, not SoundCloud, but SoundClick.
I remember SoundClick.
So, yeah, some of that shit's, like, a lot of my old shit's still on there, and I don't really like promote it, but it's there if motherfuckers want to listen to it. It's on there. But fuck it. My first actual legit album was called Blood on My Hands, and I released that through Wicked Syndicate, and this is the label I'm still currently with. This guy Dizzy Dahmer, he made all the beats. He lives in Vegas now, so he mixes like a lot of shit for like a lot of like big time names right now. He mixes Alex Zulu's albums. He mixes Donnie Menace's and Fifth Power Entertainment, a bunch of guys. So I've been fucking with him since like 2005, 2006, since I released Blood on My Hands, and that was my first solo. And around the second solo, that's around the time I started fucking with Isolated Beings, getting involved with that. So then we dropped Sex, Drugs, and Wicked Shit, and then I did another solo, City Trash. And after that, I think I did a mixtape, the Baltimore Beatdown mixtape. And then it was the Wicked Revival, and that had like a bunch of fucking crazy features. That album right there actually put us out there a lot because of the fucking wild features we had on there. We had like fucking Grave Plot on the same track together, and at the time they were fucking like split up or like beefing or some shit. I don't even know, but I remember Scum was even looking at the CD one time, and he's like, "Oh shit, you got fucking Grave Plot on here. I heard they were beefing." I'm like, I don't know. But fuck it, we got Axe Murder Boys, Project Born, Little White, Jelly Roll Mars. So that CD was kind of like our stepping stone. Like, yeah, here we are now. Like, check us out. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of attention through that album.
And sometimes those albums will help. I mean, you have a great product yourself as a solo artist or as a group, but people aren't paying as much attention as they should. Then you attach the larger names with it and make it a collaborative project and put out a great product. But it's a product now that every one of their fans are watching and saying, you know what, is Ice? Give me 1 second. We just lost internet connection real quick.
Okay.
There we are. So people are listening in, to the album, listening to Scum, listening to Project Born, and acts like that they're friends with, they're homies with, fans of, and they say, wait a second, who is Isolated Beings? Who is Ruthless Rob? Who is Two-Face? You know what I mean? And start checking that out, and it brings you guys a lot of attention, and that's a great way to really launch yourself into the scene. Once you put in material and you have a backing, because if you do that and you don't have anything backing it of your own, it doesn't really gain much traction. But if they start checking that out and think you're dope, next thing you know, they look into your discography and they say, oh, shit, okay. And then you just now gain a pretty, lifetime fan.
And to go back on that, even though, like you're saying, to get all these features on your album is fucking good and all, but you still have to be doing something yourself, too. You know what I mean? To make a motherfucker like, hey, well, he's got these guys on the album, but what the fuck is these guys doing, too? And then we, like I said, we got a lot of praise from that as well. Not only, like, yeah, props on getting these guys on their album and shit, but you guys are fucking pretty dope too. You know what I'm saying? Shit,
and that's
like that.
The key.
Yep.
That's definitely the key because, like I said, if they just check you out and you do okay on that, but there's nothing else to check out, they're like, okay, so these guys can, they can do one verse across 10 songs. So you put together 5 verses and that's only all you got as far as your name right now. That doesn't mean anything to me, but I check you out on a collab album and then I look in and say, oh, wow, they got 6 other discs out. They got 2 EPs out. Whatever it might be, then you start to say, okay, you start listening to the solo music and say, oh, wow, they're dope on their own. They don't need these collabs. It's not like they're using them as a crutch. They are dope artists. They just put together one hell of a dope project.
Yep, there you go. And then, so pretty much after that album, like, we got all the features, and that probably, I in my mind, I think that's what got us to that, to a nice spot in our career. Like, all right, people at least know who the fuck we are now. You know what I'm saying? So then, I released Nevermore, which was my third solo album, and at that time is when I became a real bad heavy alcoholic, and that was like a real rough patch in my life. Like that's when I didn't give a fuck about shit. I was just like, I was doing music, but then it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It was good to have Two-Face in my corner, because without him, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't have been doing shit. I had him to push me, you know what I mean? Even though I was fucking inebriated half the damn time, he was like, yo, we still got to do this shit. We still got to, you know, do these shows, you know, at least attempt to, you know what I mean? So then, yeah, Nevermore came out. And around that time, my father, he committed suicide. And that really put me in a fucking rut, you know what I mean? So that really like put me in a real dark place, and I didn't give a fuck about shit. And you know, I you know, slowly starting to, you know, I'm still not over the shit. You know, who the fuck gets over shit like that? But you know what I mean? You pretty much, you know, gotta fucking keep living life, you know, especially if you got kids. I have fucking, you know, I have 3 kids. I have, you know, 5 total, including my stepchildren. So, you know, you can't just fucking throw in the towel just yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, you got to keep pushing on. First and foremost, sorry to hear about that. I mean, that's definitely shitty, and I'm sorry that has happened. Like you said, it puts you into a dark place, but you got to learn to climb back out of that. And one thing,
Exactly.
you know, if you want to find the silver lining in the dark cloud, is that sometimes those hard periods in life suck. Obviously, we don't want to go through them. We don't even want to remember them sometimes, but sometimes they help put out really good music that, you know, years later, you can look back 20 years later and say that time period sucked. That was one of the hardest periods of my life. But you listen to that album and say, wow, man, that music would have never happened if I wasn't in that mindset, or if that wasn't happening. So whether it be the alcoholism, whether it be the sorrow from dealing with your father, any of that, all of that was fuel, or a certain type of fuel to fuel that specific album.
True.
And that'll stand the test of time. It was like my album, you know, not giving birth to death, but the Divine Retribution of Skippy Ickham. During that time period, I was just in a really strange and dark place in my own mind. Just a really crazy place in my own head. And the music that came out on that was so dark.
Man. Yeah, exactly. It brings out some crazy shit that you didn't even know you had inside you. But, you know, you go through certain things, that shit is just bound to come out. You know what I mean?
It really is, and I have a lot of fans that'll message me or get a hold of me and say, "Hey, you need to write another album like Divine Retribution of Skippy Ickham," and I'm like,
You're like, well, I need to go through another devastation time in my fucking life.
Exactly. It's like that's what the fans don't understand. Is I get where you're coming from as a fan. You're saying, "Wow, I liked that body of work. That's one of my favorite bodies of work you've done, and I would love to hear more like that." But what you don't understand is, I can't ever give you that again. Hopefully, I hope to never be able to give you that sound again, because that means if I am, you're loving it, but I'm in a horrible fucking place.
Exactly. So hear this. Then after about a year after that, with my father, my younger cousin, he ended up doing the same thing. He ended up taking his own life, and then that really, you know, just when I was starting to fucking, you know, bounce back, it really just like hit me worse. You know what I mean? It was like I almost got out of that fucking hole, but halfway through that motherfucker, another fucking pile of dirt just came in hit me right in my fucking face, and you know, put me right back in the fucking hole. So then I was just full blown. Like, you can ask some of these guys, you know, anybody who's done shows with me in the past during this time, I would show up at shows like fucking shit-faced drunk. You know what I mean? I'd be fucking burning all kind of bridges, and I was just on a fucking warpath. I didn't give a fuck. But at the same time, I had Two-Face there with me, and he never fucking threw in the towel at me. You know, he never gave up on me. So big props to Two-Face of the Isolated Beings, because that motherfucker, you know, he put up with a lot of shit with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's love right there, man. Because, I mean, you got to look at it as a partner sometimes. Do you ride it out with your homie and try to get him through that darkness, or is there a point where you hit and you say, you know what, I can't ride this wave anymore, because not only are you sinking the ship for yourself, you're sinking it for me too, and I need to jump off the boat. And he didn't. He stayed there, and you know what, you guys kept it afloat, and it worked out good. Sometimes you have to make that call, and unfortunately, I had to make that call for, you know, a group that I had, unfortunately. And I had a homie that helped me with some music and helped me through some things I had going on as I did him, and we were, you know, making some really classic shit. And unfortunately, he had some demons that he was dealing with, and I couldn't save him from. And I tried to keep him afloat for a while, but there had to be a choice made, and I chose to jump ship because he was sinking it too fast, and it was a little bit deeper than alcohol. Not that alcohol isn't important, but when you start to get into very heavy things,
Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
He wasn't coming back from where he was at, and I had to cut ties, unfortunately. And I always have love for the man, but sometimes you have to bail. And I'm glad that your homie in this case didn't, and it worked out. And you guys are obviously doing everything that you're doing right now because you guys are making a name. I mean, I've known about you guys for a little while now, and obviously we played Night of the Shrunken Heads Festival together last year. First chance we got to really meet each other, merch booths next to one another, and obviously talked over that period of time since then on here, and tonight got you on the radio show. So it's really funny how things come full circle sometimes.
Yeah, man. And now, I'm not saying it's smooth sailing right now because it's not. You know what I mean? But I'm in a good place right now where I'm really productive. I'm really active in my music again. You know what I mean? I feel like I just started this shit again.
Started to work on ideas for my next album, which is going to be called Absolute Zero. And I took a little bit of time off in between. I was planning on taking like 2 months off, not really writing much. I'm not fucking with music because I'm constantly writing music, and get back into it full swing. Well, I had writer's block for like the last 8 months, very heavy. Now, I don't want to say writer's block meaning I can't write at all. I've written probably an album's worth of music in the last year, individually that I'm releasing as singles, a ton of collabs that I've done with people. But I haven't openly active in pushing for a brand new album because I also feel I don't really have a deadline I have to meet. I have 5 albums out. This will be my 6th full-length album. So there was no rush, but I couldn't get past that writer's block no matter how hard I tried, no matter what exercises I tried, taking walks, clearing my mind, everything you can think of. It just wouldn't work. Finally kind of just was like, fuck it, whatever. And I went a period even then after saying fuck it that it still didn't break through the writer's block. Thought maybe if I wasn't pressuring myself, I'd get there. Still didn't.
Gotcha.
And then a couple months ago, all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, felt motivated, started writing. I've written about 4 songs in the last month and a half. It's some of the best shit that I've ever written. Still not for the album. I'm still releasing some different singles, but I feel like all of a sudden I'm back. And why, I don't know. After all that time of just nothing, trying everything, and all of a sudden the light starts to shine through the clouds again. So it's funny how that'll happen in life.
Yeah, it just happens like that. You never know. Just that spark could just creep up on your ass out of nowhere sometimes. You know what I mean?
It absolutely does. And you know what? That's a great thing because we need that. Without that, we'd be left in darkness. And that spark helps let us see the light, and we really appreciate the fact that that's coming to both of our lives.
Yeah, it does.
Looks like Ghost actually left a message and said he put "I got out," referring back to Baltimore. He put "laugh out loud, Pigtown represent."
Yeah, that Pigtown's a shady area. I'm actually I could probably throw a rock in that neighborhood from where I live now. I live on the other side of the train tracks of Pigtown right now, but Pigtown's gotten pretty rough over the years too. Yeah, Ghost knows what's up.
That's funny, Pigtown. And you got Adam Collum messaging in saying Ruthless Rob, killing it as always. You have Travis Wallazer saying Sinister Gangster up in here showing love out of Baltimore, brother. Or for my Baltimore brother, Ruthless Rob. And you have DSS Productions saying shout out Ruthless Rob holding the wicked shit down in Baltimore, Murderland.
Yeah, man, they know I rep that shit out. If you listen to my music, man, as much as I say I can't stand this fucking place, I wouldn't be the man I am without being raised here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be ruthless.
Absolutely. No, you gotta love where you're from. I mean, I love Pittsburgh. I love living here. I love representing it. I'm Pittsburgh through and through. And even though sports-wise, Baltimore and Pittsburgh might not be friends of one another, might be enemies. Certainly, I have no problem with my Baltimore brothers. You know, obviously, Ghost is one of my really close friends and homies, one of my business partners, and got a lot of love for him. And met some other guys from from Baltimore, from the Maryland area. Not only you guys, but some others, and everybody I've met's been really dope and very talented. So a lot of love for everybody out in Maryland.
Yeah, man, fucking hell yeah. But back to the discography where we were rolling down. I think I was just talking about my Nevermore album.
You were.
When I was going through all that shit, that was my 3rd solo. So after that, we pretty much the dust was still settling, mind you. I was still, I wasn't completely sober yet. I was, I still was, having slip ups and shit. I was still getting fucked up once in a while here and there. More here and there than, once in a while. But we released Trioxin. That's the 3rd Isolated Beings album. And we pretty much try to go back with the plan of, getting a bunch of dope features on there. So we got on that album, we got like Mad Child, Mastermind of Nodis, Low Key, Playboy the Beast, Insane Poetry, a few well-known cats in the underground. And it seemed to work. It seemed to keep us relevant somewhat, but at the same time, my heart wasn't fully into it like it is now, like it was in the past. It was still Two-Face still pushing me along, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, we got to keep going. You don't give up, type shit. So, that was the third album, Isolated Beings. And after that, my newest one, which is Ruthless Rob, Cursed Since Birth. That's my newest one. I've been about a year now. I think it's been out for about a year. I've been pushing that one heavy. That's pretty much summing up everything that I fucking been through. It's just, Cursed Since Birth. It's just everything is laid out on the table in this album. You know what I mean? It's got the Tatted Up song on it that you were talking about earlier. A couple other ones, but a lot of that shit is like really personal. I don't have no features on this album, like not one. Not Two-Face ain't even featured on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's just all me. So yeah,
sometimes you need to do it that way, though, man. You need to go full bore into your own project and let everything out, and that's what you did. And the reason why is you had still some hostility and all the different darkness still kind of clinging its way onto you. And that was, like I said, the light shining through. That was this album, I think, for you, is letting loose of everything you felt and had to say. You got it out there. It's a great album. I've heard the entire album myself. I listened to it after it had come out. It was I don't know when exactly it dropped, but I remember listening to it sometime.
It was like May of last year, so a little over a year.
Okay, because I listened to it after Night of the Shrunken Heads was the first time I had heard it. I'd come back home and checked it out. And it's a very dope project, bro. And I think you said a lot of the things you had to say. And honestly, if you look at you now, you said that you haven't felt this good in a while, and I think that's because that album was the cutting of a lot of weight that you were still holding.
Exactly, yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. It's like, yeah, I'm putting it all on the table, and I'm fucking walking away from all that negative shit, you know what I mean? Not saying I'm not going to do fucking positive, fucking healthy, wholesome music or anything like that, because I'm not. I'm still Ruthless Rob, but I'm talking about as far as, like, my lifestyle aspect, you know what I mean? With the depression and the addiction and all that, I just want to fucking throw it out there and just, what everything I've been through and just like, here it is. I don't want to deal with this shit no more. I just want to try to be a better person. You know what I mean? I'm still going to be a vicious MC. I'm still going to fucking talking about fucking raping dead bodies and shit in my music. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not.
Of course. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's the wicked shit. You know what I mean? I'm always going to keep it wicked no matter what I'm going through. I'm going to keep it wicked on, to the day I die. On my deathbed, I'm going to be fucking, thinking of some crazy shit. You know what I mean? So.
Here's the thing. There's nothing saying that you can't be an amazing person, a wonderful father, a wonderful husband, businessman. Anything you want to be, you can be the best at it and be a nice guy, but still be a vicious MC and be filthy. People don't understand as they listen to certain types of music and say, what the fuck kind of wacko is this? And in some cases, some of the dudes in the underground that I know that make very dark horrorcore style music are fucked up. They're crazy. Yeah. And they truly are nuts.
I'm one of them, dude.
And this guy's one of them, folks. So, watch out for him. But, and don't get me wrong, I'm definitely fucking whacked out myself. But, for the most part, I'm a really nice guy. I help anybody who give the shirt off my back. I feel like I'm a good husband. Soon to be a father myself, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully I'm a good dad. I think I should be. Good businessman, but at the same time, I come filthy with it, as do you, and I think that's, you can be anything, like they say, you can be anything you want to be. You can be a piece of shit and do great music, or you can be a good guy and a good business leader and make good music. It's up to you, but I'd, any day pick that side over being a piece of shit to people.
Right. Who wouldn't?
You know what, though, you'd think, but there's a lot of people I've met, some great artists, but there's some artists that we, are out there that a lot of people like, a lot of people are into, that are just fucking douchebags, or they're straight assholes.
Oh, yeah, and, you meet a lot of them doing these shows and shit,
Yes, you do. And you know what, it's funny. Sometimes it's people you'd expect, sometimes people you'd expect to be are the nicest people ever, and then sometimes the ones that you're like, oh, I want to meet him, he seems like such a fucking dope person, and then you meet them and you're like, wow, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, what a fucking
that's the fun of it all. It's all about the experience, and you might perceive it differently than someone else. It's all about those connections. So
yeah, you never know.
You have a lot of fans pouring in right now, so I give you kudos on that. We got some different comments coming in here. What do we got? We got Adam Collins said, shout out from Bloodlust. Brandon Woodward said, Detroit, Michigan representing. Isolated Beings representing Baltimore. Love you guys. What's that?
Brandon Woodward, he's a real good, he's a real big supporter of Isolated Beings and Ruthless Rob. I wanted to shout him out. He always shares our shit. He's a big fan. So props to him. And
I can
Adam
tell he's dropping all kinds of comments. So these guys got love for you, Brandon. He's saying "Cursed Since Birth," classic album, that wicked shit. And then we got Courtney Punte. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my man Steve. I think he's using his old lady's profile. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, Adam. That's big Satan. We call him Big Satan. He's in this band called Cryptid. They're
You know
actually
what I
gonna be
met?
playing-
Yeah, is that the dude I met at night? At Night of the Shrunken Heads, long blonde hair.
No, he wasn't there at this one. You're talking about the front man. That was Nate. They're in the same
Nate.
band.
That
together.
was Nate.
Yeah.
I met him that night. He was a cool dude too.
Yeah, they're in the same band together. But yeah, you met Nate. He rode with us last year at the Shrunken Heads, and the band Cryptid is actually going to be at the Shrunken Heads this festival. So
I heard they're very dope.
Oh yeah, they're like fucking new metal / wicked shit. It's fucking like it's like Fred Durst and fucking ICP mix. It's fucking crazy as fuck, dude.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check them out. I tried to look them up one time, and something ended up distracting me, and I never got a chance to actually hear them. So shout out to them. Check Cryptid out if you're listening. I heard very good things.
Yeah, you know, people of our age, we were raised on that new metal shit, so it's like real refreshing to hear that shit with a wicked twist. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I'm a big metalhead myself. Was in a death metal band for many years. Played a lot of heavy metal shows. Did a little touring. That's how I kind of got my start. So I always have some love for some metal out there. So we talked about all the different albums and things out there in your discography, especially the newest one, Cursed Since Birth. Obviously, if you're listening out there, fans, and tell me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I think you can check that out on iTunes, Spotify, Google
all that
Play,
shit, man.
YouTube,
iTunes.
Amazon, Bandcamp, CD Baby, a bunch of other ones. Pretty much everything out there. You on iTunes as well?
Yeah, we are. Just Google that shit. It'll pop up somewhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, like you said, iTunes, YouTube. It's everywhere, dude. Just look it up.
Just look it up. You can't miss it, folks. Look up Ruthless Rob or look up Isolated Beings. You will come across their music, and make sure you check them out. And so why don't we jump into what was your favorite show of all time?
Probably when we opened up for Insane Clown Posse, because that was just like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is what I dreamed of as a fucking 14-year-old boy. Like, fuck, I'm sharing the fucking same stage with fucking ICP. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a good feeling, man. It definitely gets you up there.
Yeah, and it was in my hometown of Baltimore too. So yeah, it was really fucking. That was probably like the highlight of, for me personally. That was like my biggest accomplishment. But at the same time, that night, I ended up getting banned from the venue. So it was a kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But I had fun.
Okay, no, that's all that matters. Is you had a good time. I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. I mean, so I guess on the opposite side of that coin, what was the shittiest show that you remember playing that you were just like, fuck this show, fuck everything about this show?
Oh man, I've had quite a few of those. That's how it is in the underground. You get these bingo halls, you get these VFWs, but at the same time, I'm still humbled to be playing these places. You know what I mean? At first, I'm like, kind of sketchy, like, oh, I don't know about this. But then I get in my mode. I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Just bar none. Just fucking go for it.
You have to. You can't hold anything back.
But I think be honest with you, my worst experience is I did a club here in Baltimore. It was called the Upper Deck, and it was over top of a carry-out restaurant. Like, they sold like cheesesteaks and pieces and shit like that. And I just remember it was just so fucking gritty, and I felt real uncomfortable and shit, and fucking I don't know, the crowd was just like looking at me like with the lyrics coming out of my mouth. They were just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know what I mean? This is back when like G Unit was hot and shit like that. They was, on that 50 Cent Fabulous type shit. And I'm up here rapping about fucking, molesting fucking corpses and fucking, wicked shit. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, I felt really out of place. You know what I mean? But
that's okay. Sometimes it's good to be out of place.
Right. But then going back to the question, I don't really think I've had a bad show. Like, I always try to make the best of any show I get. You know what I'm saying? whether it's, a few people or whether it's a few hundred people or 1,000 people, I always make the best of it. I always have the same energy once I get going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said it like that, because I talked about this on one of the recent shows that, I certainly have had some shit shows. I've had some horrible fucking shows, but I loved every single one of them individually. And the reason being is because every single one of them is an adventure of some sort, whether a good one or a bad one. It's a memory in the plethora of playing shows over the years. And I hope to someday, as an old man, hopefully I live that long and get to look back on all of them and say, you know what, look at all those hundreds and hundreds or thousands of shows that I've played over the years. Look at every one of them and just think back of all the different memories and all the funny moments that have happened. And that's what I live for. I think I was a born musician. I mean, this was what I was made to do in one form or fashion or another. And I love it. I love the memories, whether good or bad. Every one of them go into my book.
Yeah, I like how you said, you were in metal bands and shit like that. See, I'm the same way. I'd never really took interest in playing an instrument or something like that. I've always felt like I had just something to fucking say, you know what I mean? And growing up in Baltimore, there's not no fucking garage bands, you know what I mean? There's no garages and shit like that. There's no cul-de-sacs down here. There's nobody jamming out in the garages because there are none. So I've always admired people that could be in bands, because that was always a little secret dream of mine, to be like a front man of a punk or like a metal band, you know what I mean? Something like that. But I never had
time, man. It's a rush. It's a different feeling than the rap side. I mean, I wasn't the front man, but I have front man before. I was backup vocals and lead guitar and loved it. I mean, people always ask me, which do you love more? I love them both in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Hip hop feel, having a beat there, being able to go off, and the feel of rapping, to a large crowd is a great rush. But the feeling of having that instrument in your hand and shredding and rocking out to that way is a completely different type of rush. And I love them both equally. They're both individually like separate drugs that you can't get enough of.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Like I said, I never had the opportunity to be a part of a band, but you're getting the exclusive secret. I've always wanted to be a part of one, so who knows?
No, I love the exclusive material, folks. You're hearing it right now for the first time, if no one knew. That's what I love about these shows, is we uncover the underground. We find out a lot of things. I mean, last episode we had Demo Demon, who dropped the bomb that he is actually starting a band.
I heard he was saying, I peeped it, and he was saying he's doing like a grunge punk type thing.
Yeah, he's doing a grunge punk band.
Which I listened to his stuff. And, that dude's he's got a cool style. I like his voice. So
yeah, he's different. He was actually at Night of the Shrunken Heads with us too.
Yeah,
he was
I remember meeting, talking to him for a little bit. Yeah. So, yep.
He's not what you'd expect. He's this tiny, shy, quiet kid. And you look at him and you're like, okay, just kind of this weird, quiet kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he steps on stage, and you're like, get the fuck out of here. This kid's on stage. Like, this is going to be embarrassing. And then he kills it.
Yeah, you would never guess by like meeting him like what he's going to do. Like he's pretty talented. I give it to him. So.
He is, and he does a lot of other things as well. I mean, he does mixing and mastering, does engineering and recording. He actually is very big in the video game side of things, as we talked about last week. He does question and Q&As on video games, in-depth walkthroughs, and has quite a fan base and following on like tutorial video games is his shit. This dude knows more about video games than anyone. He's super nerd, which he'd be happy to tell you that.
Yeah.
But that's what he does. I mean, for a living, he does video game tutorials and does recording.
That's fucking cool. But like video games, I haven't owned a system personally since like Nintendo 64. I'm old school. I like the cartridges, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now that's what's up, though. I mean, I play video games still here in a little bit, but I'm not by any means a huge gamer. I mean, I'll throw something in play for a little bit here and there, but it's few and far between, because honestly, these days I don't have the time to really get a chance to do any of that. I'm supposed to ask you about Sonar.
Sonar. What's this pertaining to? Yeah, Sonar was a Baltimore venue. It's not there no more. I opened up a lot of shows there, done a lot of shows there.
I think the fans were just wanting to hear about that, because we were talking about Baltimore and playing like your first shows, your good shows, bad shows. Maybe they were talking about there was a good moment or a bad moment it came across.
Yes, I definitely did a bunch of good shows at Sonar. We've opened up for like Blaze, Twisted, Mars, Hobson. When he first like started blowing up, I actually got to chop it up with him. Now he's like fucking huge, but at the time he was, he wasn't nowhere near as big as he is today. You know what I'm saying? But that was a cool show.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. I did the same thing here in Pittsburgh. Played with Hobson back in the day. He was kind of buzzing. He had a nice status to him. You knew he was going to be something big, but he wasn't yet.
Was it the I Am Raw tour?
Oh, it might have been. I don't know. I remember playing a Rex Theater with him.
Okay,
Who else was on it?
It was him and Swiss. And I guess they got their own locals, for the openers and shit.
I'm trying to remember if Swiss was that. I think he was. So it probably was that tour.
It might have been the same tour.
Yeah, there's a good chance it was. Yeah, because they would have been right around the same time too. Because after coming to go, they would have either been in Pittsburgh and Baltimore right afterwards, or vice versa, within a couple of days of one another.
Right. Yep. So yeah, Sonar. Yeah, that used to be a good spot. It's no longer there, unfortunately. So.
I was talking the other day with my wife about so many venues that I've played over the years. It'd be cool, and I was really sad that I didn't have a list. It'd be cool to have gone back in time, told my younger me to keep a list of every venue and show I played, so that I could look back and say, I played this many shows at this places in these states, at these clubs. These clubs are no longer around anymore. These ones are. It's a shame that there's not a list, because honestly, I don't remember fucking 3/4 of them. And a lot of them aren't around anymore. And it'd be really cool to have kind of a list of these clubs that don't even exist.
Yeah, I think about that too. And then going back to it, some of these shows I don't even remember doing because I was so drunk. You know what I mean?
That'll get you there too, man. Playing drunks is it's a certain type of thing. I've had a lot of fun playing pretty well lit at some shows, but then a while back I took a step away from that and said, you know what, am I really giving the best performance for myself and for my crowd?
Exactly.
Am I really doing justice to them?
Yep, there you go. That's exactly what I had to do, because like I said, I was showing up to these shows shit faced, pissy drunk, and I'd be on stage butchering words and just making an ass out of myself and just just doing dumb shit. And now I kind of mastered it. You know what I mean? I don't drink. I don't pregame no more. That was the one thing I had to stop doing. I don't pregame. I'll get there and I'll get a feel of the place first. Then I'll have a few drinks. You know what I mean? Get a little buzz going, because I have real bad anxiety when I go on stage. You know what I mean? I have to have something to loosen me up, whether it's a beer or a shot or something. You know what I mean? So I'll just get I take it easy more. Like I said, I'm pretty much sober for the most part, but when I do shows and stuff like that, look out, because Ruthless Rob is he's gonna be popping out.
I used to have a thing with my band where every time we went to, we would me and my other guitar player, we would go and we'd find a local bar close to the venue. We'd always go to a different bar, not the same venue we were playing, and we would always have a shot of Crown and one beer. Me and him, we would share that cheers of the shot of Crown and one beer, and right before we'd play. So they'd be like, all right, you guys are going on in 15 minutes. We would walk right down the street. We'd always find a place that's real close, run down there, have a shot and a beer, come back, go straight in, grab our guitars, go on stage, and just fucking let loose. It was our tradition. I always loved that. I don't really do that so much anymore. I mean, I don't drink a lot before I play. Sometimes I'll have a few beers. It just depends. Don't really drink a lot of liquor anymore.
True. Yeah, that's kind of like me. Like I said, I won't pregame. I won't show up to the venue drunk no more. And I'll still drink at the venue. Don't get me wrong, and I will be pretty much shit faced by the end of the night. But I'm not in that dark place no more where I gotta be all abrasive and fight people and act all crazy and shit like I used to. I'm more level headed. You know what I mean? I feel like I've grown a lot since going through all that shit and finally. Like I said, that Curse Since Birth album, man, it kind of opened up a whole new direction for me. You know what I'm saying? As far as man, you can't be burning bridges. You can't be acting a fool. You can't be fucking up your lyrics. You can't, this is what you want to do. You got to do it right. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I agree. I mean, you got to come with that mindset and let them, hear what you have to say. Let them hear the new you and come out as the new you. And that's, I think, what you did on that album, like I said. So that's, I think,
funny,
a great...
at the last Shrunken Head show, Ghost approached me. He's like, damn, Rob, you're not drunk. He was surprised as fuck.
That's funny. Yeah, because, I mean, you said, you were doing that for a while, so you kind of got known as being that person, and that's great to break that mold and surprise people and say, you know what, that might have been me during a period, but that's not me always. I'm here to surprise you all the time. So
exactly. Yep.
Why don't we jump into one of the songs? I think that was a great segue into one of the two songs. You pick either one you want, and we'll go ahead and jump into and tell us a little bit about this song, and we'll kick into it. We'll catch back up on some of the comments when we get back from that break. But go ahead and shout out one of the songs for yourself.
Okay, I guess we can roll with Tatted Up. I got a music video for that one as well. It's my first single off of Kirsten's Birth. If you know my physical appearance, I'm covered in tattoos. I like tattoos, and I made a song about it.
It's a good jam. I really like this song a lot. I was actually listening to it earlier today while I was at work. I had some running around to do and visit some of my business clients that I work with, and I actually had that jamming on my system in my car. So here it is, folks. We're going to jump into it. This is Ruthless Rob. This is Tatted Up off his brand new album, Kirsten's Birth. And we will be back here in just a few moments on Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I got my first tattoo at the age of 15. Now I'm all tatted up and spitting these 16s. It's like a sick dream when I'm feeling for ink. It's my goddamn body, I don't care what y'all think. I'm addicted to the electric burn. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. I want another one, I guess I'll never learn. I keep it dirty like an earthworm, no concern for anything. Just give me that needle, got me looking all evil cause I don't like people. I see you with your tramp stamp, yeah that's cute. That'll be the bullseye for the load I shoot. Route 666, yeah I'm headed for hell. In a damn handbasket, I might as well get a new tattoo, one's never enough. New kid on the block and I got the right stuff.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm a walking piece of artwork, blood, sweat, and tears, and countless hours of this hard work. My arms hurt, but it's a price to pay to make fools look twice when I walk they way. Please walk away, I got nothing to say except eat shit and die, put it on replay. I stay with the outcast, low down criminals. A tattoo to me is like a ritual, an individual with something to say. I let my tattoos do the talking, and hey, every single one's a story, very observatory. Severely feeling sore, no guts, no glory. It's hard to ignore me, walking down the street, white trash with tattoos, feeling like a freak on a leash. Come with me, yeah, follow the leader, and we can all get tatted up and rock wife beaters.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I can't hide these scars forever in my skin, embedded in my body, and golly, I can't pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Yo, I got so many tattoos, bitch a lot, yo, I lost count, and I just can't stop. My dick gets hard when I see the ink drop. Whatever, motherfucker, pain is pleasure. I pray every night that things get better. The pressure of my stress levels, dancing with the devil, got me plotting on my next one. Get it together is what they telling me, but I don't pay him no attention. Artistic expression covers my complexion. Did I mention my collection is extensive and impressive? Aggressively expensive, but it helps with my depression. Here's a lesson I can show you all about the rough shit. Sit and take it like a man, you little punk ass bitch.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck.
And we are back on Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast show. That was Tatted Up by my man Ruthless Rob off his new album, Cursed from Birth. And you can find that on most all online major retailers, and you can get live albums through him or physical albums through him. If you liked the song, leave a comment on the chat right now. Let us know what you thought of the song, thought of the project, what you think of our guest tonight, whether you're a fan, whether you're against it. We want to hear it. Let us know your thoughts. We do have a lot of people tuning in right now, and a lot of people leaving comments, and we love you guys being interactive with the show. That's what we're here for. Just to get us caught up a little bit, we have Adam said, always doing a show like it's our last. Soak it all in and enjoy it because it can end at any given time, and that's the truth. I've had a lot of musical friends pass away. There's been a few that I've seen do wonderful performances, and a couple days later we're gone from this earth and you're never going to see them again. So play every show like it's your last. We got Brandon said something about Gigi Allen, which I'm not sure. I guess he's saying getting crazy on stage, but I don't know about getting that crazy, Brandon. It's a little crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, getting sloppy on stage and drunk, that's one thing. Shitting in my hand and throwing it on my crowd and then like punching someone in the face, that's a little bit beyond where I'm really trying to go with my music. But I mean, to each their own. Actually, funny enough, and I don't want to relate the two, but a couple artists ago, we had Name Withheld from Ohio, with really awesome underground horrorcore cat. Not sure if you're familiar with his music or not, but he's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
He does extreme shit. He was talking about how he has a hard time getting out in the scene because he is related to something like a Gigi Allen on a different type of scale, where he comes out and staple guns himself in the forehead, stabs himself with knives and shit, and starts bleeding all over the place. He's choked out his girlfriend on stage, like, and it's part of the show. She's into it, but like choking her out to the point where she's like blacked out, like crazy shit. It gets intense and it's hardcore. It's extreme underground music. And it's good stuff, but I mean, it's like I told him, I said, you know what, if you're going to decide, if you want to be that type of art, that's fine, but you got to understand the chances are you're probably never going to get the shine that you want for yourself.
Envelope is too much. You got to know your limits. You don't want to fucking scare people away.
Yeah, exactly. You got to know your limits. You don't want to scare people away, and that's the thing. Is he says that he loses fans and stuff at different times that were into him because of certain things he's done, and he's done some extreme shit like Bible burning and all kinds of other shit like that, and that's fine. If that's your art, that's your art, but you got to understand that you're probably going to be stuck in that classification and never be able to really leave that. Sometimes you have to mold around that, and that Gigi Allen comment just made me think of that because we were talking about, he's an awesome artist, though, great dude, great interview. If you haven't checked it out, folks, check out Name Withheld interview on Uncovering the Underground. We did that a few shows back. Let's take a look. We got someone asking for you to freestyle. Someone put tatted up. I guess that's probably during the song, singing the chorus with it. Someone put Buttless Bob.
Yeah, that's a nickname somebody gave me because I used to show my ass. Literally, I would moon the crowd and stuff once in a while. And I got the who said that, by the way?
Justin Queen.
Justin Queen. That's Two-Face.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, the asshole.
Shout out to Two-Face for checking out the show tonight. That's funny. He's dropping some funny inside jokes on here. We got Love the Song, Whoop Whoop. What's Up, Uncle Roof? That's from Justin.
That's one of my aliases.
Okay.
That's from Justin who?
Shouman.
Oh, Schumann. That's my man J Ray. Yeah, he's a cool cat, J Ray. Yep.
You got everybody tuning in tonight, and that's what we like, folks. If you are checking out the show and listening in, like I said, make sure you listen to it from the beginning. If you're just tuning in now, you can always go back after the fact and stream it. Hit the share button, share it around to your friends. Well, let's get Ruthless Rob out there. Let's get his music out there a little bit more. It was a great show tonight. We still got plenty more for you. If you just missed it, we played Tatted Up off his newest album. Here in a little bit, we'll be playing another track off that album. We got a lot more to dig out at the time right now. And one of the questions I ask every artist that's on my show is, what is the one thing that you've done that you don't regret doing, but you would never do it again?
Oh, man. I wish I was prepared for that one because I've done a lot of crazy shit.
And that's the thing, is I never let anybody prepare for that one.
Right. To be honest with you, all right, help me with this question. Would you say in like just overall life or something music-wise, or?
It can be either. I mean, I always give the option on a question like this because there's some people say, there's a story, but I really can't tell this live on the air. And I'm like, I understand that. So it can be music, it can be personal, just something in either one of those worlds for yourself that you did it, you don't regret that you did it, but you said, you know what, I sure as fuck wouldn't do that again.
Right. Like, I don't know. I guess I smoked PCP before one time, and I regret that. But at the same time, I'm glad I did it because I'll never do it again.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Was just a real bad
was it at a show, or was that just in life?
Yeah.
That was just in life?
Yeah, that was just in life, dude. I actually did it unintentionally. I was smoking some grass, and I had this funny burning taste, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the dude's like, yeah, it's PCP. I'm like, what the fuck? And almost instantly, like, the fucking wall started melting. fucking light poles seemed like they were like falling on me and shit, and it's just I thought I was gonna die. It was like really fucking crazy. That's like probably one thing I would never do again. But I am glad I did it because, like I said, I'll never do it again. But some people do that shit on a daily basis, though.
Yeah, can you imagine? I mean, obviously, that's nothing good can come from that. Like I said, that's all bad. I've seen tweakers on that shit, and it's pretty extreme. You got to be careful on that. But no, I can understand that. It's funny because different people answer that question different ways, just as some of the other questions I'll ask you throughout the night, and that's a good thing. You know, one of our artists, SKX, he said it was drinking and driving was his answer, that he did it. He's glad he did it, but he would never do it again. And the explanation was because he got pulled over. Because of getting pulled over, he was arrested. He was made to go to courses or classes on driving drunk, and he got to hear this woman's story about a drunk driver wrecking into her family, and I think either injuring her family greatly or killing some of her family, unfortunately. I can't remember exactly. And the story really haunted him, so much so that he said, I've never since then ever picked up a drop of alcohol whenever I was going to be driving. He says, I will not do it. I'll walk. I'll call somebody. He says, I will not drive at all with alcohol. And I respect that. And that was crazy that his story was, hey, I'm glad I drove drunk because it taught me to never do it again. And yours is like that as well. You're glad you've done something because it showed you, hey, never fucking do that again.
Right, unless you're about that life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, unless you're about it every day, unless you're about it, don't do it.
Yeah, unless you like getting wet, then by all means, go ahead. But yeah, it ain't for me.
Yeah, that you gotta be a certain type of mind, I think, to want to go down that alley. So
yeah, I'm already fucking crazy enough. I don't need no fucking PCP on top of that.
Yeah, Angel Dust is not going to do any good for anybody. It's right. Going to put you in a bad place. It's gonna cause some bad things to happen. That's for sure. Now, second question I always ask people is, you know, if the animals were to rise up and the planet was to be overtaken by animals, they were intelligent enough to take over, what species of animal do you ultimately think would be the ruler of them all, and why?
Oh, I guess I would have to say probably like fucking some sort of insect or something. You know what I mean? Because there's fucking billions of those fuckers. You know what I mean? And just sorry, I was smoking my cigarette. But yeah, right. Fuck it. I would think some kind of like insect. You know what I mean? Because that shit is enough to, you know, you see how people freak out over one bug. You know what I mean? Imagine fucking shitload of them, you know, everywhere constantly. The fucking world would be in fucking, you know, pure pandemonium. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's a weird question, so I probably gave you a weird answer.
No, that's good. I like that weird question because, you know, I ask questions that no answer is ever going to be the same and no answer has, and everyone's been completely different. I mean, I've been told ape. I've been told snow leopard. I've been told lion. I've been told octopus. I've been told honey badger last week. Now you've answered insect. I mean, it's interesting where everyone's mind goes with it because they're all completely different thoughts of why, and it's always curious to think about what the outcome could be on that.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'd have to go with like some kind of like a fucking huge ass like swarm or something. I don't know.
So I was walking through the woods one time, and I came upon an anthill that was probably 5 or 6 feet tall, and it was just covered in hundreds of thousands of ants. And when I came upon it, at first it was kind of almost like surreal when I seen it. I'm like, what in the hell is that? And it looked like it was moving, and as I got closer, I realized the top of it was moving because it was an entire layer of ants. Right. And I'm looking at this giant anthill, and I'm like, there's no way this thing is real. And they're coming out the top of it, and they're going everywhere, and it was the middle of the woods. I used to just roam woods for hours when I was a kid. I'd just go into the random chunks of woods and just walk them. And I've never seen anything like that before or since. And it was just massive anthill. So I could almost see that, because what do you do to something like that? There's just hundreds of thousands of them. So even though they're small and you can take giant steps and crunch a bunch at once, they could easily start to crawl up you and overtake you without you being able to stop them.
Exactly.
So yeah, ants would be a good one out of the insect side, I think.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, you like I said, some people freak out over one bug. You know what I mean?
My thing is, bugs never really bothered me. But obviously, if you have a large number of them, that's going to bother anybody. If I fell into a pit and all of a sudden was just engulfed in ants, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're freaking out.
Yeah, you'd probably fucking die of insanity. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know.
Well, crazy thing is, I got attacked by red ants when I was younger.
Yeah, fuck that.
It sucked. I got bit about 130 times.
Damn.
And I remember going to the hospital and my neck had swollen all up. So I used to play football, and this cocksucking team that we were playing against told everybody on our team where we could put the equipment. Like when we got there, your practice area is over there next to that side of the football field, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but that side of the football field apparently was known to have red ants.
Oh, shit.
And we had our equipment over there laying, and we hung out for like an hour or so before the game started. We went over and put our equipment on. We were doing our warm-ups, and I was one of the team captains. And I remember doing push-ups in the front, and we had our lines that followed everything that we did. We'd do so many push-ups, so many sit-ups, so many stretches. And I had like a line of about 5 or 6 guys that would follow my lead. And I was in the middle of doing it, and I remember just falling to the ground and beating on my chest and started beating on my neck, and everybody's looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? And I remember tearing off my equipment, and I was screaming, and I'm yelling, and I'm yanking at my chest, and I pulled my equipment off. And when I did, I pulled my shirt off. And then everybody on my team all of a sudden realized, because I was covered in these fucking red ants.
Damn, dude.
They were biting the shit out of me. It was like, so what happened is one bit me, and I guess what I found out with them is when they bite or they attack, one will let out like a pheromone.
Yeah,
when they let that pheromone out, it tells all of them to attack.
Right, they posse up on your ass.
And they did. They just straight jumped me, man. They like 130 of those little bastards bit me on the neck. My neck swelled all up, and it was crazy. It was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, that was pretty ruthless of your teammates, if I say so myself.
Yeah, well, not our teammates, but the other team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking assholes we played against. So, but no, definitely a crazy adventure for sure. So what shows you got coming up? You have anything lined up right now?
Yeah, I got a few. We got 2 that we have booked so far. We have a local show here in Baltimore at the Depot. That's July 22nd. And like I said, we got this Shrunken Head Festival in October 5th, I believe, in Indiana, Carl's Tavern. So those are the 2 we got locked in so far. We're not really trying to do a lot of shows right now because Two-Face, he just had a double hip replacement surgery, so he's like still recovering from that. So we're just trying to take it easy, but we'll still do shows here and there. You know, all depends on how he's feeling and stuff like that.
No, absolutely, and much love to him and prayers to him that everything continues to go well on that. That's a rough thing to go through, so hopefully he heals up good and gets back to full action soon.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, we got July 22nd here in Baltimore, and we got Shrunken Heads in Indiana. So, yep.
You guys working on any new music?
I am. Isolated Beings, back to the discography. Our latest that we just released was a mixtape. It was a free mixtape called Tales from the Crypt, and we pretty much like dubbed the Crypt Keeper. We got it to where he can introduce like every fucking track on the album. It like kind of like, you know, we sampled him to like introduce every track. So that was a pretty cool project. We released that last Halloween. That's the most recent one that's out right now besides Kirsten's Birth. So that's Tales from the Crypt, Isolated Beings. We're about to drop Isolated Beings Last House by the Cemetery. That's being mixed and mastered as we speak. That has hella fucking dope features on it. I don't want to give away too many on that one, but if you follow us, you probably know some of them. But yeah, we're working on that one now, Last House by the Cemetery, and I'm working on solo as well. But the Last House by the Cemetery will be out first. That's going to be out fairly soon. Hopefully, I want to have physical copies by the Shrunken Head show. And I'm always doing solo shit. I'm working on EP right now. It's like a follow up to Kirsten's Birth. It's called Damned, and it's going to be the Damned EP. I got about 7 tracks done now. Probably going to do like 8 to 10 tracks. So, yeah, those are the 2 I'm working on.
You're putting in work, man. That's good to see. I like to see artists staying busy. I mean, I'm someone who stays busy myself, so I'm always working on different projects. I have a lot of shit that no one will ever hear. Right. I'm one of those guys, so it's like I have a lot of things that I've made that no one will ever, get to check out or see. I have albums worth of materials that will probably just go with me to my grave, but every now and then I'll release some things and, give some people some sneak peeks on just random projects that I'm dropping or things that I'm working on. But there's a lot of stuff that'll never see the light of day just because I just choose not to. I like it. It's a good jam, but I just, don't feel the need to release it. So I'm glad to see you have a lot of stuff coming out.
Right. And going back to what you're saying, at the same time, you're still sharpening your craft. You're still staying active, whether nobody's hearing it or not. You're still putting in work, either just because nobody's hearing the shit, you're still being active. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to.
And
you don't
that's
wanna,
it. It's
yeah.
I use it more or less as a tool. So I'm always writing, and I write a lot of things that weren't meant to be a song or weren't meant to be anything. I might throw down on something, but say, you know what? That's not really a song. That's just sharpening. That's just my tests, my exercises to keep myself and my craft sharp. Because I feel that if you're a true MC, you got to constantly keep your craft sharp, and you got to constantly practice. Because if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more because I'm always writing shit, even if I don't even have to have a concept in mind. I'll just get my pen and pad. You know, I'm old school. I pick up a pen and pad when I write my lyrics, and I'll just write random shit. And if I end up fucking with it, you know, I'll piece it together and put it to a song. Or if I'm not doing that, I'm listening to a beat or I'm checking out beats. You know, it's, you know, just doing something productive, you know, in the aspect of music. You know what I mean? Just like I said, staying active and, you know, keeping your skills sharp.
Now, you said you write with a pen and a pad. Do you have a lot of old notebooks?
Oh, man, I got a lot of composition books, dude. I got like a fucking cardboard box full of them.
Yeah. That's always interesting, too. I like to hear how artists write, because every artist writes differently, whether it be on a tablet or a computer, whether it be...
Some will be on their phone, writing the show on their phone. I see people
exactly being on their phones, whether it's written by your, you know, in your mind solely, and there is no paper or device. Everyone writes a little bit different. There's some that write it, you know, a few lines in their head, and then they transport that onto some type of device, and then they write a couple more in their head. They don't just sit down and write. I mean, everybody does it a little bit different than one another, and it's always interesting to hear.
Right. Yeah, man. I keep it old school with the pen and pad.
Now, do you usually find beats and then fit that lyric to the beat, or do you write the lyrics to the beat itself?
It could be vice versa. Sometimes, like I said, I'll just have lyrics upon lyrics written, and if I find a beat, I'll take out syllables. You know how you want to match it up and make it flow good, stuff like that. Or if I just get a dope ass beat, like, all right, fuck this, I'm writing something fresh for this beat right now. You know what I mean? It just, it all depends.
Now, is there a lot of times that when you put a beat on for the first little chunk of it, you're just mainly freestyling a bunch over and over again and just snagging certain lines out of the freestyle that you say, you know, I'm keeping that, and then you kind of make a song out of that? Or is it more meticulous, you're writing line by line?
Well, sometimes I'll, for the most part, if I get a beat, the first thing I do, and I want to get it over with, is the hook. So I'll listen to the beat, and I'll hear the instrumental, and I'll hear like the certain patterns, and I'll just start harmonizing with myself. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, how can I flow this? You know what I mean? I'll just kind of like hum tunes to myself. You know what I mean? As far as hooks and choruses. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, I'll go back to my old school lyrics or something I've written in the past, and I'll just, well, this fits this song. You know what I mean? And I'll just throw it on there. Or so, like I said, sometimes I'll start from scratch if the beat really has me excited. Like, all right, I got to do something new on this shit. You know what I mean?
And you use a different a number of different ways of writing. As do I. I do a little bit different things now.
Yeah.
I sometimes write it all at one time, sit down and write a song start to finish. Sometimes I piece it together and kind of work on little chunks at the beginning, little chunks at the end, and kind of patch it in. I mean, it really depends. Sometimes I'm writing it to the beat, or sometimes I write it completely with no beat, find a beat that fits it, and kind of mold and craft that into the beat. So but there's other cats out there that will only write one way. They will do it a specific way every time, no matter what. That is their shit. That's their mold. And
right.
There's no right or wrong, but yeah, I like to be a little bit more versed on being able to do it a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I do. I couldn't give you a straight answer on that one. I pretty much just go with the flow. Like I said, I go back and dig up some old shit, or I'll start from scratch. And I really have no way of writing a song. I just, it just comes to me as I start to, get into that process of the songwriting,
Now, how long does your song process normally take? I know cats out there that bang out songs back to back, boom, boom, boom. There's nothing to write. And then there's other ones like myself who, it might take me a while. I might work on a song for several months, one song. And other songs I can write in a day, and they'd be just as good as one another. Just sometimes it's feeling the beat or feeling the right time to finish that song. How does that go for you as far as normal turnaround time?
Usually when I get like somebody pays me for a feature, I try to knock that out for them, just because there's money involved and I don't want to keep them waiting, shit like that. Yeah, I'll definitely knock that out. But on my personal shit, like Isolated Beings and Ruthless Rob shit, my own shit, I'll, there's sometimes I'll have a beat and I'll listen to that motherfucker for like a month. And, you know what I mean? I'll just straight listen to the beat and, it's not going to come to me always. It just, it just comes to me, after hearing the beat so long. I'm like, all right, I can do this, I can do that. Like I said, I really have no process of, songwriting. It just comes to me.
Yeah, no, we're very similar in that regard because I can listen to a song, like I said, and the first time I listen to it, start spitting out rhymes to it. There's other songs I'll listen to, and I'll listen to it over and over again for a month straight. Nothing comes to me. And then one day I'll listen to it again. I just listened to it yesterday. Nothing happened. Pop it in today, and all of a sudden, boom, lines start to come. And it just, for some reason, it just comes when it comes. I think it's kind of mysterious in that way that, I mean, there's some people out there that can consistently write every single day no matter what. And for that, that's great. But I'm someone who I can always write. But I mean, high level shit, it comes and goes. I'll get spurts of it, and then it goes away for a little while. It's like my inspiration has a mind of its own, and it comes when it wants to.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same way then, dude.
It's interesting, yeah, because like I said, everybody's a little bit different on that end. Right. So obviously some great projects coming up, some awesome projects in the past. Is there anything aside from just the regular music side of things that you're involved with artistically that maybe fans don't really know that you're into, that you have a hobby in or you enjoy doing?
I collect a lot of like weird things. I collect like horror merch, like horror movie props, serial killer memorabilia. I recently just completed my Goosebump book collection, the OG one, not the new shit. I'm talking like the shit that came out in the 90s. And I had to go back on eBay and get these fuckers from like, 1994, 1995. And it's a fucking long, expensive process if you're getting them piece by piece to complete a collection. So I'm a collector. I collect a lot of weird shit. I have a John Wayne Gacy. I have a John Wayne Gacy piece of his prison issue uniform in a plaque. I collect some bizarre shit, I guess.
It's all right though. I've always been into some bizarre things myself, and it's funny you say about the Goosebumps. I remember as a child, I loved Goosebumps, and I read them, and I had, I think like volume 1 through, I think like 60 or 1 through 65. I don't know how many it ever ended up going to, but I had like the first 60 books in order and on my bookshelf, all in great condition, and I had them for years. And as I got older, and it's like right around the time I was like mid-teenager, a little older, I got rid of them. I packaged them all up and just got rid of them.
Damn, dude,
and I look back years later and I'm like, what a dick. Like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Because they were all in great condition. I mean, like, I'm talking almost mint condition. Read once, taken care of, and then put back in. And it was like the first 60 volumes. And fast forward all these years later, I'm like, now these fucking books would be like 25 years old. 20 years old, whatever that time period was, probably about 20. Yeah. And they'd probably be worth a nice little chunk of money.
Oh yeah, man, the whole collection on eBay is easy, fucking $300-400. You know what I mean?
I bet.
Yeah.
I just gave them away. But you live and you learn. I still read a lot. I'm an avid reader. And that's one thing, like I said, everybody has different things that they're into and different hobbies. I love to read. I think that's where I do get a lot of my inspiration from is books, because I don't mind watching TV and watching series and movies, but I feel like no movie or TV show is ever going to give me the adventure thrill ride that my own mind does.
Yeah, you get to paint your own picture while you read a book. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I like my visions more than I like someone else's.
Oh yeah, everybody has a different vision. So yeah, I hear you on that one too.
Now, with the time being 10:18 right now, why don't we jump into that other song? We'll come back from that song, kind of go over some last-minute thoughts, some shout-outs where people can check you out at, and wrapping up for the evening, go over some upcoming announcements. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of a spotlight on that second track?
Gotcha. The second one is called So High. It's pretty much a song I wrote while I was, in that state of mind. I, was just fucked up all the time, and I just want to put it out there. And then when I released it, I can go back on it like, damn, I was pretty fucked up. You know what I mean? So it's a little reminder, and it's a nice little tune. So High. So yeah, it's
absolutely
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly. You heard it from the man himself. This is So High off of his latest album, and this is Ruthless Rob. You're listening to him live on Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
live my life blurry, bitch, you know the hell I'm scrubby and I'm broke, cause I'm spending all my. And if I got no money, then I'm fucking robbing. I'ma do what I gotta do to get a read. Racing, pacing back and forth, I can't stand. I'm a motherfucking junkie, homicidal honky, smoking loud packs in the back getting funky. Look on my back and you'll see a fat monkey. Look at me wrong and you end up in the trunkie. Don't judge me, unless you wanna get your ass whipped quick and your head all lumpy. Don't fuck me, cause I'll run up in your shit and leave your living room all bloody. I'm nutty, guzzling a 40, whip out my dick cause I'm drunk and horny. Oh lordy, I better slow down, sipping on lean with a fifth of crown. Puffing on green, you can keep that brown. Ask anybody, roof, don't fuck around. I turn your neighborhood into a ghost town. Fuck a pool for a liquor, bitch, I'd rather just drown cause
I'm so high, I'm so high, I don't ever wanna come back down. I'm so high, I'm so high, I don't ever wanna come back down.
I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'ma put it in my body, fuck anybody that don't agree. I'm fucking with them trees like my name was Mr. Miyagi. A smoked out zombie in the midst of all this poverty. Drinking is my hobby when I can't afford Hennessy. I'm fucking with that Game Cobra, still reserve. Old E, Mad Dog 2020. I should have a trophy for drinking like I do. My liver looking like a raisin, lungs looking like some prunes from this shit that I be blazing. Behaving like an animal when I get the craving. Yo, there ain't no escaping all the hell that I'm creating. I burnt so many bridges with the roads that I've taken. Blacking out every night, hopefully I won't awaken. I'm shaking, bodies aching, sick of waiting for some. These decisions that I'm making's really bad for my. Ain't no faking, yo, this life I live is truly straight. And the only way I'll ever quit is if I kill my.
I'm so high, I'm so high, I don't ever wanna come back down. I'm so high, I'm so high, I don't ever wanna come back down.
I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up. I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm turned the fuck up.
These drugs and alcohol really got a hold of me. Unknowingly, it's the only thing controlling me. I lay back as I wait till death approaches me. Ain't no hope for me, hopefully sets me free. These drugs and alcohol really got a hold of me. Unknowingly, it's the only thing controlling me. I lay back as I wait till death approaches me. Ain't no hope for me, hopefully sets me free.
And you heard it on Uncovering the Underground. That was Ruthless Rob. And what was the name of that track again, homie?
So High.
So High. See, I must be high because I forgot what the hell it was called. So that was So High by Ruthless Rob. And if you heard it and you like it, make sure you check it out. He's going to tell you here in a minute where you can check out all his stuff out at. And make sure you pick up a copy of his newest album. Pick up a copy of all his past work, solo work, and with Isolated Beings. And just show him some love. A lot of great things coming up for him. We're very excited to have him on the show tonight. Like I said, click the share button, share it around to your friends. Shout out to our sponsors tonight, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel, tattooedscumbag.com. BBE10 is the promo code for 10% off of any of your apparel needs. Everything from hoodies to socks to sweatpants and everything in between. Brutal by Design Apparel and Brutal Face Apparel as our sponsors as well. Check out all the upcoming shows, car shows, wrestling events that we have happening right now. And make sure you check out all things Brutal Business at www.teambrutalbusiness.com. That's teambrutalbusiness.com. You can check out all of our news, links, media, merch, and everything on that website. So make sure you check out those things. Stay tuned for the upcoming shows. Next Thursday night, we have Nasty Inc. from Indiana. And we're very excited to have him on the show. A great underground rap artist. Followed by the following week, Jade the Nightmare. And the following week, Donna Rise. So we have some really great guests coming up on the next several shows. And the past few shows that we've had as well. All of our shows, really. So make sure you check them out. Listen to the different shows and share them around. Now, we'll go ahead and let Ruthless Rob tell us a little bit about where you can check his shit out at. Give some shout-outs to his fans and friends. And then we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up for the night.
All right, man. First, I guess I want to shout out Two-Face, you know, my boy, the backbone. Isolated Beings. The rest of the Wicked Syndicate, my label, Cryptid, Diabetic, Dizzy Dahmer, the brains behind the fucking shit, does all the mastering. Check him out, Dizzy Dahmer. If you want some mixing, hit him up. He does incredible work. Pretty much, yeah, you can Google our shit. Just Google Ruthless Rob or Isolated Beings. You can go to ruthlessrob.com, isolatedbeings.com, and both of those links will forward you to our Wicked Syndicate Bandcamp page that has our entire discography on there. So everything is on there. So, yeah, pretty much, isolatedbeings.com and ruthlessrob.com. Add me on Facebook if you like. Follow me on Facebook. You stay up with shows and shit like that. Give a shout out to my brother Slap Dirty, my little cousin Michael, all 20 of my kids. 5. Little Rob, Nick, Michaela, Ryder, aka Little Snake, Jaden, my wifey Wendy. She keeps my head on straight too. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be all fucked up still. That's about it, brother.
Absolutely. Well, great having you on the show, my man. Like I said, it was a fun time. We'll definitely have to have you on again down the road. As all good shows and all good guests are on the show, I definitely would like to have you back again at some point in time. And a lot of business to be had coming up, as we were talking about on the commercial break. There's some shows coming up, folks, that we're trying to arrange together with Brutal Business and Ruthless Rob and his team, to go ahead and see if we can get some things popping over here on the East Coast side. So keep an eye out for all upcoming news and show announcements. There will be many coming up over this year and obviously next year as well. There's a lot of things in the works behind the scenes right now from me personally and from BBE with some big news and big mini tours and events. So stay tuned for all of that, like I said, on teambrutalbusiness.com, and we will catch you next week on the 13th at 8 p.m. for an hour of uninterrupted underground music, followed by an hour and a half in-depth interview with Nasty Inc. from Indiana State. We appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We love you guys. Have a safe night, and we'll see you again next week. You guys take care and have a good one.